Good morning students, we'll continue with the respiration. Now we'll start with the respiration in human beings. Now in human beings, the air is taken into the body through nostrils. Okay. Now the air passing through this nostril is filtered by fine hairs that line the passage. Okay. Now why is this passage lined? It is lined because it helps to filter, okay, with the help of mucus which is present in this passage, whatever microorganisms or air dust, okay, passing through our body gets filtered in this passage. Okay, now this air then passes through the throat into the lungs. Okay, now before going to the lungs, there are rings of cartilage which are present in the throat. Okay, now that will, you have to turn the page and see the diagram even on the next page. Now in this diagram it is very clearly seen that this is the nostril, okay, nasal passage through this. Then next you can see this, here you have got rings, okay, that is rings of cartilages. Because what happens when we breathe, okay, this is like a pipe, it collapses. To prevent that collapsing of that tube, you have got rings of cartilage present here. Okay, now if you see, this passage within the lungs divides into smaller tubes. Now you can see the diagram here. Now this tube divides here like this. Now can you see these small divisions of the passage? Okay, and then it finally terminates into a balloon like structures called alveoli. Okay, now here if you see, you can see here small balloon like structures. Now these structures are magnified and shown here. Okay, now these are the branches, and at the end of the branches you have got balloon like structures here. Okay, now they are known as alveoli, and singular is alveolus. Okay. Now these alveoli, they provide a surface for exchange of gases. We have seen the respiratory surface characteristics where the exchange of gas takes place. Okay. Now here there is an extensive network of blood vessels. Okay. So the air which we breathe in, when we breathe in, our lips they get lifted up and our chest cavity becomes larger. Okay, and the air is sucked into the lungs and then it fills this expanded alveoli. Okay, so this alveoli, it expands when we take in the air. It's like a balloon. Okay, now the oxygen in the alveolus is taken up by the blood from the blood vessels, alveolar blood vessels. Okay, and then they are transported to all the cells in the body. Now what happens, only this much is not enough. In multicellular organisms where the body size is large, okay, simple diffusion of gases, that is oxygen, cannot be delivered to all parts of the body. So you need certain respiratory pigments for taking up of oxygen from the air of the into the lungs, and then they carry it to the tissues. Okay. Now in human beings the respiratory pigment is hemoglobin. Okay. Now this hemoglobin has got a very high affinity for oxygen. So immediately as it comes in contact with the oxygen will come and sit, or you can tell it will be carried by this hemoglobin. It will directly come in contact with this and it will get attached to this hemoglobin. So this hemoglobin is present in your blood, right? So wherever this hemoglobin goes with the blood, that is in the RBCs, it will travel into the whole body. Okay, it will sit on this hemoglobin and travel in the whole body. Okay. Similarly, whatever carbon dioxide is there, okay, that is soluble in water. Okay. Hence, mostly it is transported as a dissolved form in our blood. So that is how the exchange of gases takes place in our body. First it starts with the nostrils, then lungs, and via lungs from alveolus it goes inside our body. Now, if only diffusion would have taken place, only diffusion without hemoglobin, it would have taken 3 years for one single molecule to reach our toes from lungs. So just imagine how helpful hemoglobin is. Okay, thank you.